Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Battle Through the Heavens based on novel. So let's start. A faint fog enveloped around this mysterious space, causing the entire area to appear misty. This space was completely quiet. That manner was as though it had been quiet for eons. A piece of land floated in this seemingly vast and boundaryless space. The land was suspended in the air without any support. It appeared just like a pavilion in the air. The loneliness that had lasted for a long time had finally been broken today. The misty space had suddenly become distorted. Immediately, a huge spatial tunnel appeared. Soon after, many figures suddenly rushed out from within. Finally, they landed on that plot of land. Is this the ancient god mansion? Xiao Yan's body had just landed on the ground, when his eyes hurriedly swept around him. However, he was stunned to discover that even with the great strength of his D-state soul, he was actually unable to probe beyond a 10,000 feet radius. Clearly, this place imposed quite a great pressure towards spiritual strength. Zun, Kaylin and the rest had also swiftly appeared beside Xiao Yan. Their eyes revealed a cautious expression as they watched this mysterious space. With the many human figures appearing, the experts from both parties also hurriedly separated. After which, they stared at the other side with cautious eyes as they readied themselves for various sneak attacks. Do not be delayed by them. Let's go. The Nihility, devouring flame glanced at Xiao Yan's group. After which, his eyes turned towards this realm. There was some strange fluctuation appearing within his eyes. After which, he spoke in a soft voice. He subsequently took the lead to hurry into the distance. Hun Qiandi and the experts from the Hun clan quickly followed. The Nihility, devouring flame, is actually aware of the way. Xiao Yan was startled after he saw this scene. Even he could sense some pressure after arriving in this place. It was impossible for him to probe and locate the D-tier embryonic pill within such a short time. Unexpectedly, this Nihility devouring flame seemed to be extremely familiar with the way. The Nihility devouring flame Zhu Kuan was surprised. He immediately nodded while being in a deep thought. It is not surprising for him to know the way. Follow them. Zhu Kuan did not give any explanation after his voice sounded. He directly took the lead to give chase. Xiao Yan and the others hesitated for a moment before quickly following him. The two groups charged forward with full force on this seemingly vast and endless land. They were just like falling stars that swiftly cut through the sky. This fast charging continued for over a dozen minutes. Finally, the speed of the Nihility devouring flame and the others in front were gradually reduced. Xiao Yan, Xiao Yan and the others swiftly gave chase after their speed was reduced. After which, they looked at the ancient stone hall, which appeared on that spacious plains. A fiery heat flashed within their eyes. The stone hall stood quietly on the vast and endless plains. An ancient aura spread from it and reverberated across the space. In front of the stone hall was an incomparably huge square. There were many 10,000 feet large towering pillars standing on both sides of the square. A towering-like majestic aura pounced over from that place. Xiao Yan's group carefully landed on the square. Some rubbing sound quietly sounded on the stone ground as their footsteps landed. There was some distance between both parties. After which, they occupied both sides of the hall. They opened their strides and cautiously walked towards the square. This square was extremely spacious. Everyone felt as though they were ants crawling in the desert as they walked on it. It was difficult for them to see its boundary. However, everyone present could already be considered the strongest people on the Do-Chi continent. All of them possessed some metal toughness. Hence no one created an uproar. Everyone's hearts were filled with some respect and fear in this divine-like place. Xiao Yan's footsteps suddenly paused as he walked. He turned his head and looked at the top of a stone pillar a short distance in front. There was a cluster of deep yellow-colored flame rising from it. This kind of flame allowed Xiao Yan to see from a glance that it was a kind of heavenly flame. If he guessed correctly, this should be the mysterious yellow flame that was ranked 23rd on the heavenly flame ranking. Why is this heavenly flame so weak? However, Xiao Yan soon began to frown. This was indeed the mysterious yellow flame. However, it appeared extremely weak and tiny. Its appearance was as though the strength that was originally within the heavenly flame had been completely lost. A flame suddenly gathered on Xiao Yan's shoulder as he felt some doubts. After which, little Yi appeared in a flash. It looked at this quiet square, and a somewhat lost expression suddenly surged within its eyes. This place is very familiar. Xiao Yan's footsteps suddenly paused after he heard little Yi's low voice. He turned his head and looked at little Yi in shock. Familiar? This was the ancient god mansion. Who could be familiar with this place? What happened? Light flashed across Xiao Yan's eyes. A thought appeared in his heart, and it was transmitted to little Yi's heart. I don't know. I simply feel that this place is a little familiar. It seems that I have been here in the past. Little Yi replied while feeling lost. Xiao Yan's expression changed rapidly. Been here in the past? How could it be possible? The ancient god mansion was opened for the first time. Before this, he had never heard of the ancient god mansion being opened before. Hence, Xiao Yan's first thought was that it was ridiculous when he heard little Yi mentioned that it seemed to have been to this place before. Soon after, however, he thought that little Yi, who was mentally connected to him, would definitely not lie. In this way, it seemed that there is a very high possibility that what little Yi had said was true. However, Xiao Yan did not understand why little Yi would feel that this place was familiar. Xiao Yan frowned tightly. His footsteps caught up with the others. At this moment, everyone had also discovered the heavenly flames on the stone pillars. However, the heavenly flames was ranked too far behind. Hence, they did not pay much attention to it. However, they had walked for another 1,000 feet when another towering stone pillar appeared. There was also a cluster of flame rising on the stone pillar. 10,000 beast spirit flame, ranked 22nd on the heavenly flame ranking. Xiao Yan slowly exhaled as he looked at the cluster of rising red flame, which vaguely revealed the appearance of tens of thousands of beasts. His eyes flashed. After which, he looked forward. His footsteps sped up greatly. Seeing this, Xiao Yuan and the others hurriedly followed. They once again advanced by 1,000 feet. Another stone pillar appeared. There was also a different heavenly flame rising from it. However, these heavenly flames did not possess an overly great strength. At a glance, it appeared just like a decoration. However, Xiao Yan, who was well versed in heavenly flames, understood that these heavenly flames were not fake. They were all genuine heavenly flames. These heavenly flamed, Xiao Yuan's group looked at this scene. Their eyes revealed a shocked expression. It seems that the heavenly flame ranking is higher the further in front it is located, Xiao Yan softly muttered. He turned his head and looked at little Yi, which was sitting on his shoulder. After which, his eyes turned to the nihility devouring flame a short distance away. The latter's emotion also seemed to have a big ripple. However, there seemed to be a lost expression similar to that of little Yi in them. Faster! Xiao Yan urged. After which, he quickened his footsteps. The group hurriedly followed. With their increase in speed, many towering stone pillars appeared one after another. The heavenly flames ranked on the heavenly flame rankings rose these stone pillars. Amongst these heavenly flames, Xiao Yan could see an extremely familiar green lotus core flame, fallen heart flame, sea heart flame, bone-chilling flame, etc. It is unexpected that the Xiao ancient god actually loves to collect heavenly flames. After seeing the 6th ranked flame on the heavenly flame ranking, the 8 wasteland destruction flame, even Xiao Yan could not resist exclaiming, "I wonder if the legendary top 3 ranked heavenly flames on the heavenly flame ranking are here." Yang Jin nodded. He suddenly looked at little Yi on Xiao Yang's shoulder, and the nihility, devouring flame a short distance away. Although heavenly flames were rare in this world, there were more than one of each type. However, the top 3 ranked heavenly flames were different. Normally speaking, if there was a purifying demonic lotus flame, or a nihility, devouring flame existing in this world, there would not be a second flame of the same type appearing. Yet, the purifying demonic lotus flame and the nihility, devouring flame were both currently present. One was in Xiao Yang's hands while the other had turned into a human shape to aid the Hun clan. Could that Xiao ancient god have created a second purifying demonic lotus flame and nihility, devouring flame? Go. Yang Jin was clearly not the only person who had such thoughts. Even those from the Hun clan and swiftly increased their speed after exchanging glances. The 2 groups quickly hurried over the spacious square. A moment later, all the figures came to a sudden halt. At this moment, they had gradually approached the end of the square. Another 2 towering stone pillars appeared in everyone's sight after they passed by the 4th ranked gold emperor incinerating heavenly flame. Everyone immediately threw their eyes towards the top of the stone pillars the moment they saw the 2 giant-looking pillars. This time around, however, they did not see any heavenly flame rising from them. The top of the stone pillars were empty. The expected purifying demonic lotus flame and nihility, devouring flame were absent from them. In other words, it seemed that these 2 types of heavenly flames were not included in the Xiao ancient gods collection. Everyone sighed softly after seeing this. They appeared to feel a slight regret. These are the last 2 stone pillars. It seems that even the Xiao ancient god is unable to obtain the legendary 1st ranked heavenly flame. Xiao Yan also spoke somewhat regretfully after seeing the end of the square after the 2 stone pillars. Xiao Yang did not interrupt. His eyes were merely startled as he stared at the 2 empty stone pillars. His hand slowly touched little Yi on his shoulder. Suddenly, he recalled the familiar feeling that little Yi had mentioned earlier, and how the nihility, devouring flame knew the way here. Xiao Yang touched the purifying demonic lotus flame. After which, he glanced at the nihility devouring flame, only to discover that the latter was looking at the last pillar with a lost expression. The feelings he showed. Seeing the somewhat strange expression of the nihility devouring flame, a thought that caused one's head to become numb slowly rose from within Xiao Yang's heart. It is not that the Xiao ancient god had not collected the purifying demonic lotus flame and the nihility devouring flame, instead, the both of them had fled from this place. This thought had just rose from his head when it swiftly spread to every part of Xiao Yang's body, and he could no longer escape from it. Who? Xiao Yang inhaled a deep breath of air. He suppressed the great shock within his heart. If he guessed correctly, this Xiao ancient god was really terrifying. Other than the 1st ranked heavenly flame on the heavenly flame ranking, or the other. These heavenly flames might possess the original heavenly flame essence, but it appears as though all of its energy had disappeared. Currently, they are merely ordinary flames with their original forms. Xiao Yang's eyes swept over those towering stone pillars behind him and involuntarily felt somewhat regretful. If it was possible to devour and refine them, it was likely that his strength would reach a relatively terrifying extent. Swallowing 20 types of heavenly flames together. It was likely that hardly anyone past or present had been able to do it. Little Yi sat on Xiao Yang's shoulder. Its small face was a little complicated. It looked at the second stone pillar, and the expression on its small face was a little complicated. The expression seemed to be lost, painful, terrifying. Xiao Yang's hand gently patted on Little Yi's head. He could already be certain that Little Yi and the nihility, devouring flame, were restrained on this stone pillar. In the end, however, the two of them had somehow escaped. Perhaps something unexpected had occurred, resulting in their memories become blurry or missing. Of course, this was only Xiao Yang's guess. It was likely that no one in the world was aware of what exactly happened. After all, the parties involved, namely the purifying demonic lotus flame and the nihility devouring flame, had already felt their distant memories becoming blurry. Where is the Di-tier embryonic pill? Han Tiendi withdrew his eyes from the stone pillar. He looked at the nihility devouring flame at the side and softly said. The nihility devouring flame turned his head. His eyes looked at the edge of the square. The stone hall at that spot was enveloped within a dense fog. It caused one to be unable to see through the scene inside. Whoosh whoosh. The nihility devouring flame widened his mouth. A suction force surged. It directly swallowed the fog permeating over the place into his body. With the scattering of the fog, a huge shadow suddenly enveloped the entire place. Everyone hurriedly lifted his head, only to be shocked as he saw 100,000 feet tall stone statue suddenly appeared in their eyes. The stone statue appeared to be like an old man. That appearance was not unfamiliar to Xiao Yang. It was the owner of the ancient god mansion, the legendary Qiu Shi ancient god. The stone statue stood in the sky, and an extremely powerful aura that seemed to dominate the world scattered from it. Even Xiao Yang's group seemed to be pressed by a mountain under the aura. A couple of weaker individuals even knelt on the ground, shattering the hard stone ground into dust. Many light clusters danced around the stone statue. It appeared extremely brilliant when seen from afar. These are Qi method and Do skills. Xiao Yang narrowed his eye as he looked at these clusters of light. His heart was quickly shaken. This was because he discovered that those light cluster actually contained some ancient scrolls inside it. He could sense an extremely strong spirituality from those scrolls. This kind of spirituality was not inferior to the so-called Tian class high-level Qi method or Do skills. Hundreds of Tian class Qi method and Do skills. Even though everyone present were extraordinary, such a collection still caused their breath to involuntarily become heavier. Tian class Qi method and Tian class Do skill could be considered quite rare even in the Jiyu and Han clan. In this place, however, they have become commonplace as they filled one's sight. Although the Tian class Do skill and Qi method were extremely attractive, it did not result in much desire from experts like Jiyu Yuan and Han Tiendi. Hence, their eyes swept over them before turning towards another spot. However, it was still impossible to see the so-called D-tier embryonic pill. It has been a long time since this place had been so lively. A faint elderly voice suddenly descended from the sky while everyone were frowning. It resounded beside everyone's ears. This sudden elderly voice caused everyone to be shocked. They hurriedly rotated their bodies and finally stilled their eyes on the arm of a stone statue. There was an elderly figure standing with his hands behind him on that spot. His eyes were indifferent as they looked at everyone. The expression in their eyes appeared as though they were observing an ant. Qiu Shi ancient god. The eyes of Xiao Yang's group swept towards the old man in simple clothes before they let out a startled exclamation. The appearance of the latter was exactly the same as that stone statue. Moreover, the unique bright long hair was something that no one could replicate. The ancient god is still alive. An incomparably shocking thought surged into everyone's heart, as they dumbly looked at the old man, with that aura that seemed to surpass that of this world. What happened? Han Qiandi's expression was a little ugly. He looked at the nihility, devouring flame, and spoke in a deep voice. He did indeed sense a terrifying aura from this old man. This kind of aura belonged to the Qiu Shi ancient god. The nihility, devouring flame, lifted its head. His eyes stared intently at the old man. A moment later, he suddenly opened his mouth and said, "He is not the Qiu Shi ancient god. He is the Di-tier embryonic pill." Han Qiandi, Jiu Yuan and the others were startled after hearing these words. Immediately, their eyes revealed a strange glint as they slowly locked onto the old man. Nihility, devouring flame, what are you doing? The old man on the stone statue was startled as he furiously cried out. What do you mean by what am I doing? The nihility, devouring flame, frowned and asked after hearing his furious cry. Bastard, if I had not helped you and the purifying demonic lotus flame to sever your restraints back then, how would the both of you escape? Back then, the both of you had promised me to rescue me from this place. That old man, or rather the D-tier embryonic pill, cried out in a stern voice. The bodies of everyone present trembled abruptly after they heard his cry. His eyes were surprised as they looked at the nihility, devouring flame, and the purifying demonic lotus flame on Xiao Yan's shoulder. They had actually been trapped in this place in the past. The nihility, devouring flame, had a change in expression. He thought for a long while, but he was still unable to find such a scene from his memories. All he could do was to speak in a faint voice, "I'm sorry, I completely do not remember about the matter you have said." However, his words paused after he spoke until this point. However, I am indeed here to rescue you this time around. Come with me. The expression of the D-tier pill was a little dark and stern. He stared at the nihility, devouring flame, for a long while before turning towards the purifying demonic lotus flame on Xiao Yang's shoulder and asked, "Purifying demonic lotus flame, do you still remember our agreement back then?" Huh? Little Yi was startled. It quickly grabbed Xiao Yang's shoulder, shook its head and said, "I have never met you." The D-tier medicinal pill's expression became extremely gloomy after hearing this. A moment later, it seemed to have thought of something. He looked at the stone statue beside him, clenched his teeth and muttered, "This is done by you, right? Follow us." The nihility, devouring flame, looked at the D-tier medicinal pill and laughed. "Humph, it is likely that you are after my actual form, right?" The D-tier medicinal pill smiled coldly, looked at the nihility, devouring flame and said. The nihility, devouring flame, smiled. After which, his expression became stern as he said, "Attack." Bang! Han Qiandi suddenly shot forward explosively after his words had just sounded. Monstrous Do Chi spread. Finally, it turned into a tide as it ruthlessly smashed towards the D-tier embryonic pill. An insignificant trick. The D-tier embryonic pill laughed coldly after seeing this. His finger gently pointed forward. That monstrous energy tide that pounced towards him was actually cut apart. It is extremely difficult to deal with this D-tier embryonic pill. We should capture it first. Otherwise, Han Qiandi might end up obtaining it. Zhu Kuan remarked in a deep voice after seeing Han Qiandi attacked. All of you should be on your guard against the other members of the Han clan. Jiu Yuan nodded. After which, he gave the instruction to Xiao Yang's group. The both of them flew out. Immediately, the energy in this place became wild and violent. Waves after waves of attacks, which caused the sky and earth to collapse, continuously attacked the D-tier embryonic pill. Faced with the attacks from Han Qiandi, the nihility, devouring flame, Zhu Kuan and Jiu Yuan, that D-tier embryonic pill did not show any signs of panic. A frightening ripple spread as he lifted his hand. It blocked the attacks from those four. While he might appear unhurt, he was unable to move due to him being held back. Xiao Yan's group involuntarily inhaled a breath of cool air, as they saw that the D-tier embryonic medicinal pill did not end up in a disadvantage even when facing the four strongest experts on the present continent. Just one D-tier embryonic pill was already this terrifying. Just how terrifying would the true D-tier medicinal pill be? It was likely that even an elite Do-D would find it somewhat troublesome when faced with a medicinal pill of this tier. The many experts from the Han clan were ready to cause trouble when the intense big battle broke out in the sky. A cold glint flashed in Xiao Yang's eyes. He waved his hand. Yang Jin and the others rushed forward and blocked all the experts from the Han clan. The experts from the Han clan had a slight change in expression after they saw the Han clan stopping them. However, they did not attack. Clearly, they wished to wait for the big battle in the sky to come to an end. This was because all of them understood that the battle there was the most important one. Whoever managed to obtain the DI-tier embryonic pill would immediately be able to turn the battle around. Hence, they were aware that there was little effect regardless of what kind of intense battle they fought. Bang 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 bang. 5 figures accompanied with a strength that could destroy the world, crazily smashed against each other in front of everyone's eyes. The energy fluctuation from them caused even the hearts of those located far away to be frightened. Fortunately, this realm was extremely stable. Hence, this big battle did not lead to a rip in space. Xiao Yang lifted his head. He looked at the wild and violent energy fluctuation in the sky, which caused one to feel a chill. His fist was slowly clenched tightly. The present situation was really a little complicated. The strength displayed by the DI-tier embryonic pill was far too frightening. Hence, they currently not only needed to take precaution against the Han clan snatching the DI-tier pill, but they also needed to guard against any injury or deaths inflicted by the DI-tier embryonic pill on Jiu Yuan and Zhukuan. These two results were definitely fatal to the Alliance army. Hence, there was really far too many variables in this chaotic battle. This video will end here.